Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at your love life and what's going on. Plus, I'll look at your person, where this is going. Aries through Pisces. Stay tuned to the end. I will do a hidden message from your person and a yes/no bonus. All right, so we are seeing a little bit of mind games going on. Maybe you've recently dealt with somebody playing with you. And look at this, right? Anger, arguments, and conflict. Something is coming to light. And maybe you're feeling like it's time to confront a situation, hitting something head on. Something can't be avoided anymore. There's been a challenge, and it feels like you're reaching some sort of point where enough's enough with any kind of guessing games. Why can't we just make this happen? Why are you always making excuses? Or so there's a lot. Seems like trying to win an argument or win a situation over, but we're not seeming to get anywhere. So what is the biggest challenge here? And it's regret. It seems like somebody may have said something or did something, and now the end result is nobody really wins from this situation. All right, so something came to a head, is what I'm seeing here in your reading, right? It's like two people really care about each other, really wanted to see something happen, and then we let something get out of hand, or we just went too far with maybe something that was said or done. So let's see the tarot here and see what's going on now with this situation, because it does feel like, it brought up something between you and another person, something that really needs to be dealt with. And it's not feeling complete because it feels like both parties are feeling a little bit sad about how far they pushed things or what was said in the meantime. And it's like, is it time to move on? Is it time to call it quits and, or reconcile? Can we reconcile from what recently just went down between the two of us? Something had to be confronted. It feels like it was inevitable. It was weighing on both of you. I'm seeing the death card here at the bottom of the deck, which is a natural ending. It's like no matter what we say or do, we can fight something and it's meant to end. So a situation is, naturally coming to an end. Now, this doesn't have to mean that it's a physical, like you're never going to see this person again. Nothing's ever going to come out of this. But something has to change, and it's a psychological death. It's like we can't keep doing this to one another, or you can't keep doing this in a relationship because it's not working. The way we're going about a situation is ending up in a feud, a war, or a conflict, or very challenging. And it's just like, no matter how I try to fight this or what I try to do to get somebody to listen to me or get somebody to see me, it's not working. So it's time to close a chapter with the death card. It's whatever we're doing here is not working. So ultimately, I've got to try something new. I've got to let something end. I've got to let a situation go. And for some of you, it could be simply, it's hard for you to process something that somebody has done or said to you. You thought something was going to be a certain way, and no matter how hard or how much work you put into something, it still kept getting the same result. And now you're maybe sitting in this place right now of, is it, what do I do? Is it completely over? And, I do see the Five of Swords here too. So you're getting a lot of the fives. It feels like you still are trying to figure out a way to make something work, right? Or try to come up with another solution. But what we're seeing here is like two people that just can't seem to see each other's side. So there's a lot of arguing, a lot of disappointment. Something comes up or something came up where we were pointing fingers, blaming at each other, or playing games with each other to try and win an argument or win our point. But all it did was lead to some sort of ending that happened. So let's see your person. I see the Knight of Cups, right? So we see an energy coming towards you. This could be a new chapter starting for you. The way I read is in energies, so it doesn't always necessarily have to pin to a certain person. It can be the person that's the main focus in your mind, right? But it can be a new chapter, something that we're trying to fight, and maybe it's sad for you to move on from something. But as you're doing so, there's possibly new love coming in, somebody who wants to, to ask you out, somebody who wants to love you, wants to tell you how they feel. And it's even it seems like even the person that you're fighting with, or that you've had a big falling out with, there was love there, but their biggest challenge here is being honest with communication, and being clear about their feelings. You are needing somebody to open up more when it comes to love. Now, I am feeling pulled to say that somebody is feeling how much they put you through, or they're feeling the aftermath. They're feeling, was it worth it? Because when it's all said and done, you see the regret here. You see, we got into this argument, we couldn't see each other's side, we tried to make something work, it wasn't working, it's not working, and we pushed it too far. But the resultant is somebody needing to take a step back and be honest about their feelings. So maybe this is something that had to happen in order for somebody to realize how much pressure, or how they were hurting you, how it was really making you feel. Now let's see how they view you and feel. The Nine of Wands. I mean, this is some heavy energy. This is somebody that feels like, you won't give up at anything. Like you just can't, and you won't give up on this person. And there's a part of this person that doesn't understand why you would still want to go at this, or still want to try and figure things out with them when it's been so tired. Like you must have mentioned to this person that, I don't want to give up, but this is so stressful for me, and it's so heavy on me. And I feel like this is what's making your person here push away from you. Like they don't know what to do, they don't know what to say. Sometimes people love other people but express it in a different way, and it's not enough. And it feels like it hasn't been enough, because it feels like the argument is, you never see my side, you don't see what this is doing to me, you don't see how much I'm doing for you, you don't see how much I care about you. And it's like your person over here is showing up as a Knight of Cup, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. And their challenge is the Ace of Swords, which is, it feels like I never can stay enough. It feels like you don't see how much I love you, or I care about you, or how much I was really into you. But they're viewing you as the Nine of Wands, like no matter what they say or do, you still are carrying some sort of stress or burdens. Maybe it's hard for you to let go of something that somebody has said or done to you in the past, and it still keeps coming up, and it's hard for you to process. It still makes you sad, because you're not getting enough proof that this person, they're not being clear. They don't seem like they're putting in as much work as you are, and you are tired and stressed of it. But you still don't want to give up on this connection. So how do you view this person? I see the Lovers card. So there is a deep love. Your heart is so invested in somebody. And I'm going to say something that some of you, might not like, but the Lovers card can say sometimes we're only thinking with our heart, when logically we know that something's just not right, and it's never going to work, or you're just not getting what you need from somebody. And because your heart is attached to somebody, and you really want it to work, you're trying to battle and force and fight them to see you, when they are showing up as somebody who seems to be trying to express their feelings for you. They do feel for you, but they're starting to feel like, I can't figure out or see, what else I could do or need to do, especially if it's hard for you to get past, or you're very triggered by something from the past. So the Lovers card, sometimes our emotions and our anxieties, and we overreact. We don't feel like we're overreacting because it's our emotions, but we're not listening to our mind, and we're constantly letting our heart lead a situation, and we keep getting nowhere. So the Death card is showing that this pattern is not working. It is not working. Nothing else. I mean, you have another go here. The Nine of Wands is saying you don't want to give up on a situation. So what else could we do to make something happen? We need to start something completely new. Figure out, is this a conversation coming in? Is somebody getting ready to open up and confess, their feelings to you? But maybe they feel like you really don't see them, or you don't believe them, you don't trust them. So what's your biggest challenge with your person? It could be a Gemini as well. And I see the Six of Wands. Your biggest challenge, again, is that this person it may be arrogant at times, right? Or they get a lot of attention, or their work comes first, or their facade comes first. They like to put on a show. They can be superficial, and maybe this is somebody that does get a lot of attention, but it feels like ego gets in the way. Maybe you don't get enough attention from this person. You feel like they're always seeking validation from other people. And you are always constantly wanting or fighting for their affection, their attention. And this is somebody that has a lot of pride. This is somebody that likes to be on top, likes to be the center of attention, and likes your attention. All right. But they're also somebody who's very ambitious and who has a heart. But right now they could be really motivated to excel in their career, or excel in something that they're doing. Now, this is somebody that naturally gets a lot of attention. So it can bring up jealousy. It can bring up anger issues. It can feel like you want to be the center of their attention because you love this person, but you're not, you're getting triggered because you feel like somebody is playing games with you and they're not being 100% honest about where you stand. All right. So where do you stand with this person? I see the Nine of Cups. This person honestly desires you and sees you as the cherry on top, sees you as somebody who's totally worth it. But this is somebody who doesn't like to look a certain way. They have to keep up a certain facade in their life, and they're very prideful. So, it's like, I want you, but they also like the attention that they get from around them. And maybe we're trying to get past this situation. It seems to me like there could be some sort of jealousy or lack of attention. And it may be making you sad, or feeling like you're not winning, or you're not winning this person's affection. But this person here is very ambitious in their own world. So what they're going after, it's not about they're trying to find somebody else to be with. They're trying to find success in their own life. And you may be taking it personal, like, I'm not getting enough of their attention. And that means that they don't want to be with me, or they don't like me, or they're not interested in me. Your value of relationship at this point, what you need from a relationship and what they can give you right now, is not matching. It's like, I do care about you, but you want or need more. And I'm trying to disperse my attention everywhere. And I've got so much going on. But the love is there. The bond is there. You can see it with the Lovers card. But, this is where logic comes down. It comes down to, if you need more, and then just whenever they pop around or they come around, it's a question of, do I, follow my heart, or do I make a difficult choice and end something until somebody is ready to see what they had or what we have? And with that choice, the Lovers card, with that choice comes a fear. What if I end this and they do choose to move on? And then I have to sit with, am I going to regret my decision? But it comes down to your values. Let's see what Spirit thinks. Their next move to you, intentions towards you, what Spirit thinks you should do. And then I'll look at any actions through Aries, through Pisces. So their intentions, all right, I have the Five of Pentacles. It feels that your person here, you have 3 fives showing up in your reading. Your person feels like no matter what they say or do, they can't seem to make you feel better. Like they make you feel very insecure. And whenever they see you, they feel this sense of sadness with you, like they've disappointed you, like they've upset you. And you seem to always notice the things that are going wrong or the things that they're not doing rather than the things that they are doing. So your person's starting to feel like no matter what they say or do, they can't make you happy. Now, you may be struggling yourself with some insecurities, struggling with health, struggling with finances, struggling with, life in general. You have the Nine of Wands. So it does tell me that you have a lot weighing on you. And it's life, all right? We're not calling you out here. You're somebody who needs somebody on your side. You're somebody who needs somebody to help you with all the responsibilities. And the person you're trying to connect with is just not able to give you the time and the effort that you're needing. But it doesn't mean they don't have feelings for you. And so that makes it difficult for you because of course you're like, well, if you care about me, wouldn't you try harder? But that's where the truth comes in, and that's where we have to ask ourselves, am I just connecting with the wrong person? It doesn't make your person bad. It just, what you guys value is different. All right, so what does Spirit think you should do right now? And I look at this, the Queen of Swords for you. The Queen of Swords is ultimately, it's difficult to go against your heart. It's difficult, especially if you've gone down this road several times, being able to disconnect from your emotions for a second and take a look at things logically and say, I do have to have boundaries here. I have to make sure I'm making the best decision for myself. So even though it may be difficult at this moment, a new chapter is waiting for you, whether it's with this person or not, but it comes down to discernment and how you're seeing the situation and being able to make a decision based off of what's right for you, what's best for you, no matter what. All right. So this is a weekly reading, guys. This does not mean that this is over. We're just looking at a situation for what it is right now, and how right now it seems like you're getting nowhere with somebody. So how can we get the situation to move? The Death card says psychologically something has to end because the way you're feeling right now is not healthy for you, especially with this situation. Now you're seeing the Five of Wands here, and you're seeing your person here. The challenge is the Six of Wands. It just seems like an ongoing battle that you never get through with somebody, but it shows me here that you have potential here to push through and see some sort of conclusion here and get movement with your person, but by seeing it from a different perspective. So let's look at Aries through Pisces, and we'll look at any potential movement or actions from your person this week. And then I'll get an oracle, hidden truths, and a yes/no bonus question for you. All right. So let's look at Aries. If you're dealing with an Aries, and I know some of you are like, I wish you would do this part a little bit longer. And I have done that. I've done videos on just Aries through Pisces, but they honestly don't do so well. I think less is more here, even, which is what people like. So we have an Aries, and I see the Ten of Pentacles. So Aries, it feels like I am invested in this. I care about my future. I want to make my future solid so that I can provide for later on. This is a person that values you and sees, that you are somebody that would be equipped with, being able to have a stable life together. You're somebody that is important to this person. So for actions, it feels like the Ten of Pentacles is, I'm here and we're going to make it through this one way or another. It may take a little longer. It may be hard to figure it out, but I definitely feel like family with you. You're very important to an Aries. Taurus, I see Queen of Pentacles, also another energy. You're very important to me too. It seems like a Taurus has a lot of responsibilities. I have to take care of business. I have to do my thing. But maybe you're somebody who's a single mom, or you have a lot of responsibilities, and what's important to you is a little bit different than what's important to your person. All right. So it may seem like they're not being accountable, or they're not helping out as much. All right. But this shows me that they really respect you, really value you. And this week, you may start to see that they invest more time in this connection with you through some understanding. Remember, ultimately, your person is showing up as the Knight of Cups. So it says, I have feelings for you. It says, we can make this work. I still want to see where things go. My heart is with you. All right. We have Gemini. I see the King of Pentacles. So Gemini, I'm putting in a little bit more work with you this week. They have long-term plans, but again, you have a Gemini, you have a Taurus that are showing up in these positions of work, money, foundation is very important to me. And I have to delegate my time, but I do see a future with you. Cancer, I see the Hermit card. So there could be distance between you and a Cancer. The light, we try to keep the light on. We try to always see maybe there's potential for this to go somewhere, but you're dealing with somebody who goes their own way, somebody who paves their own path, somebody here who may have been through a lot and just is slow to let anybody in, right? So it doesn't mean that it's not possible, but you are dealing with the Cancer that ghosts you and disappears when things get too rough or things get too much, because this is somebody that needs their alone time. And that's what you're dealing with. And it's hard to say, well, if you love me, give me more time. But if you're loving somebody who needs their own time, it works both ways. We have to find mutual understanding here. And if your Hermit feels like they're not being seen or validated for when I need, I don't want to talk all day long, or I don't want to, always be on all the time. I need my own time. They're going to disappear on you without you knowing why. All right. And that's what I notice as a reader when I'm dealing with people's relationships and I see them dealing with the Hermit and they're wondering why people ghost them. It's because that person feels like no matter what they say or do, they don't know how to escape a conversation. They don't know how to ask for their own time without feeling like they're hurting your feelings in some way. So you are dealing with that kind of situation here with the Cancer. Now, Leo, there's a Tower going on, all right? So we are seeing this regret. We're seeing this fight. We're seeing this argument here that's going on with you and a Leo right now, all right? It has to happen. The Tower card, the Death card, is something is ending. Something's coming to reality. We're seeing the truth. A tower doesn't mean it's over, but it's definitely been built on a lot of falsities. It's been built on, we're trying to hide certain things. Maybe you have been hiding your feelings for so long that finally you've reached a point with a Leo where you can't take it anymore, right? So a Tower comes in and says, this is going to fall apart because we can't keep moving on like this, right? But the good news about a Tower is it clears the path. So once the dust is settled, we know where we stand. And if there's anything left, we're going to rebuild from a place of honesty. Right now, you could be going through this with a Leo right now. So it is a little uncertain, but I can see there is regrets and sadness going on as something is falling apart. Virgo, I see the King of Swords. So Virgo may be pulling away a little bit if things are getting intense. This is somebody here that needs to process and think about their feelings, not talk about it right away, or be able to express their feelings until they truly understand what's going on. You have a Virgo here that's showing up as a king, which says, you're valuable to me and I will show up and I will communicate with you once I figure out what to say or what to do, what my truth is. So possible communication with your Virgo this week. We have Libra, Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. A Libra is going to do what they can to try and figure out, to step up. But you can see that a Libra is somebody that also works hard and can also analyze or overanalyze a situation and be very cautious, especially if there's a lot of emotion going on. If there's too much intensity, too much drama for somebody like a Libra, they like peace. They like their peace and quiet. They just kind of like to do their routine. And if things get unstable or too much, they start to waver. And that's when, it seems like your Libra doesn't make a decision. But I feel like it's a Libra here still trying to maintain some sort of focus here and say, I'm not sure exactly how things are happening or what's going on, but we can still make it work. You know, we can try and see where things go. Scorpio, Two of Cups, it's all about a conversation. Your Scorpio seems to see you, feel you. Maybe they feel like you are, you know, things got out of hand between the two of you. You guys are both water energy, so when something hits, it hits hard, you know, so you know that they're feeling it. Pisces, you might be easy. It might be easier for you to get over it than a Scorpio. A Scorpio will, you know, kind of go quiet and disappear for a minute, but they can't hide from their emotions. So it does look as though you have a reconciliation or a partnership forming here with the Scorpio. It's like they're trying to figure out how to really make it work with you. And there's mutual compassion here between you and Scorpio. Sagittarius, on the other hand, it's like they're stuck in their head. They're stuck in their ways. They, you know, when it comes to too much emotion, sometimes they just, you know, get frazzled, get overwhelmed. They may feel a lot of regret, like no matter what they say or do, there could be a lot of projection going on. So right now it feels like there could be some, you know, negative energy going on between you and a Sagittarius right now that could lead to an ending if we don't figure out what the hell's going on here, what we're doubting, what we're arguing about, what we're trying to figure out. A lot of defenses up when it comes to a Sagittarius. Capricorn, Knight of Swords. So Capricorn looks pretty good. Capricorn here trying to figure out which way we're going. All right. And I'm interested, right? But you got a Capricorn here that gets on a mission and sometimes forgets about, you know, the feelings of others, you know, but it's not that they're not thinking about your feelings. It's that they're thinking more long term. They're thinking about, all right, let's go, you know, so it's all a package here. So, you know, it may feel like sometimes they make quick decisions and they don't think about your feelings, but it looks like a Capricorn is turning things around and coming in with some communication. We have Aquarius, we have Judgment. So Aquarius here too, making that final decision, having a realization of the importance of this relationship and what's going on. So we're facing some sort of truth with you and an Aquarius. It's like, you know, are we good for each other? Can we do this? Or should we go our separate ways? I mean, it comes down to we care, but we have to make the right decision. Now, Pisces, you have the Strength card. I love this card. It's been coming up a lot for the collective right now. Now, the Strength card says, you know, all right, where can we tone it in, you know, pull it in, reel it in a little bit. All right. You know, sometimes we overreact. We have, you know, these intense emotions and we have to stay strong, you know, even though, you know, we really want to lose our shit. So it's about self-control in a situation. When you feel like your emotions are getting the best of you, learning to back up, not back up from your point. All right. But it's about the way you're presenting yourself in the moment so that you can be heard. Because the second you lose your shit, your person can't handle it. And then even though you're right or you have something you need to express, your person, it's not landing with your person. So there feels like there needs to be a little bit of self-control when it comes to, you know, the way you come across emotionally. But also, I want to remind you, if you have been holding back as well and you feel like all you do is hold back, this is a card that says sometimes you've got to be strong and have the courage to really speak your truth and not be afraid of something ending, because it comes down to your integrity. So Pisces, you have a very strong bond. I'm picking up in this reading with somebody, and there is a way to get through whatever this is that you're trying to get through. But it is about taking a look at what you value, and if you're connected to somebody who truly is in a place to give you what you need right now. So with that being said, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to pull out an oracle for you, a hidden message for you, and a yes, no. I appreciate you loving my consistency. I'm trying. This past 6 months, I've been trying to stay on a regular schedule and get them out. And, you know, I appreciate you guys. I got a little off on schedule this week due to some doctor's appointments and things like that. But all right. Kayla, long-term Pisces, been here for a long time. All right. So I'm seeing weather the storms for you. You have let it change you. Embrace the unexpected. So you're confronted with something, Pisces, that could be very scary about a relationship, especially if you really want to get something off your chest, or you've been arguing with somebody and you feel like something is ending. And this is going to change you. This is a new chapter in your life. This is a situation where, all right, we can't keep doing what we're doing, so we got to try something different. And you're taking a bold move. Or you're being asked to take a very bold move this week in your love life. Let's see your person's hidden truth for you. Quality over quantity, guys. I have like some of the most quality people. Always so supportive. All right. You didn't see my tears, Pisces. So somebody is really upset about what they've said or done, or how things have turned out between the two of you. And my conclusion to this is that, and it happens a lot in these readings, is that your heart gets the best of you. And no, at first it seems like no matter what, even though somebody has a different life or they show up a certain way, you believe in love and you believe in the connection evolving. And at first it may seem like it's okay to adapt to somebody else and to hope that it will turn out better, and always look at the bright side of things. But eventually it tears you down, because you need that love, you need that fuel. And so something may have come to a head with you and somebody, and it really does bother your person that they couldn't give you what you needed, or couldn't fulfill their side of the contract. And I took the easy way out. So it may have been that, the regret is coming from them. It feels like, I feel bad for pulling away from you. It was the easiest thing, but it was still the hardest thing to do. But it's harder to see you upset. Let's see. Think of your question. The question on Pisces' mind. I love this. You have a yes, right? Well, maybe, I don't know what your question is, but I do love Pisces and I love the Page of Cups, which is talking about a new start, a new beginning. It's about understanding, and it's about love, communication, and an offer coming your way. So this can be, I really love you. I'm sorry the way things turned out, but my love is still there for you. And this does open a new doorway for you when it comes to love. For some of you, if this is your story and you feel like something has come to an end, it does show that you have new love coming in, and that, now it's like, what the meaning of this past relationship, it still meant a lot to you, and it still means a lot to this person. And it also can, be a symbol of them finally understanding their feelings for you, and even an offer from them. It could be an apology. I love you guys. Thank you, Queen Tiki. Thank you, Sandra. Kayla. I see. Is that Oz? Easy baby. I'm still getting used to my glasses. They're getting better. That was the biggest thing for me the past few days. I had a headache like 3 days because of all this. Jeff, hello, and Tamiko. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for being here.